Hi there, welcome to this whiteboard econ video. In today's video we are going to cover the concept of elasticities. This includes the price elasticity of demand and the price elasticity of supply. Make sure you have watched my video in which the basics of the topic of supply and demand in economics were covered. If you already have a basic understanding of supply and demand, this should also be sufficient. You can find a link to my previous video in the description or at the top of your screen. With that out of the way, let's get straight into this video. As we have seen before, there is a change in the quantity demanded or supplied when the price changes. The steep demand curve implies that consumers are not so sensitive to a change in price and will therefore not change their quantity demanded much. The most common example of this is gasoline. When the price of gasoline rises, it will not affect how often people drive their car. Therefore, the quantity demanded only decreases slightly. This also holds for a steep supply curve, where suppliers will not change the quantity supplied by much if the price changes. As an example, you can think of houses that are rented out in large cities. It is hard to find places where new property can be built, so when the rent prices increase, supply of rentable property does not increase much. In contrast, when there is a flat demand curve, consumers will decrease the quantity demanded significantly when the price increases. An example of this is pizza. If the price of a pizza increases, the quantity demanded decreases significantly. Again, this also holds for the supply curve. When the supply curve is flat, an increase in price will cause suppliers to increase their quantity supplied significantly. An example of this is bread. When the price of bread increases significantly, suppliers of bread are likely to supply a lot more bread. But what are elasticities exactly? Elasticity can be defined as the percentage change in one value as a response to a percentage change in another. I understand that this definition might be difficult to grasp at first, but trust me, it becomes a lot more clear when we look at some examples. For the price elasticity of demand, this means the percentage change in the quantity demanded as a result of a percentage change in price. For example, when the price increases with 20%, this results in a 10% decrease in demand. Mathematically, we can calculate this as the percentage change in quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in price. In this case, this is a 10% decrease divided by a 20% increase. This results in an absolute value of less than 1, meaning that in this case the price elasticity of demand is inelastic. Remember that when price goes up, quantity always goes down. That is the reason why we use the absolute value of the price elasticity of demand coefficient. The same logic applies to the price elasticity of supply. The price elasticity of supply is calculated as the percentage change in quantity supplied divided by the percentage change in the price. For example, if the price of a product rises with 10%, this results in an increase in supply of 20%. This results in a value higher than 1, meaning that the price elasticity of supply is elastic. Remember that this value is always positive because an increase in the price means that the quantity supplied increases as well. We have now seen that the price elasticity can be elastic and inelastic, but economists identify three more different elasticities: unit elastic, perfectly inelastic, and perfectly elastic. I will cover the different scenarios, and after that I will show you all different cases next to each other. Note that what you see on your screen are the price elasticities of demand. I will not show the price elasticity of supply in this video as the concept is the same. Remember that an elastic price elasticity of demand means an absolute value greater than 1. So, as in the previous example, an increase in the price with 10% causes a decrease in demand of 20%. This results in a coefficient of the price elasticity of demand of greater than 1. An inelastic price elasticity means an absolute value smaller than 1. When the price increases with 20%, this causes a 10% decrease in demand. This results in a price elasticity of demand coefficient of less than 1. A unit price elasticity of demand means an absolute value of exactly 1. When the price increases with 10%, this causes a decrease in demand of 10%. This results in an elasticity of demand coefficient of exactly 1. A perfectly inelastic price elasticity of demand is recognizable from a vertical demand curve. A perfectly inelastic price elasticity of demand happens when a change in the price has no effect on the quantity demanded. The percentage change in quantity is 0, so the price elasticity of demand coefficient is also 0. Perfectly elastic price elasticity of demand happens when the firm cannot change the price. You can see that from the flat demand curve. If the firm changes the price, no one is going to buy the product. The price elasticity of demand coefficient is infinite. That brings us to the end of the video. The only thing I would like to ask you is to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you have learned something today, as that would mean the world to me. If you are also interested in learning about the income elasticity of demand and cross-price elasticity of demand, you can find links to them in the description. See you in my next video.